Welcome to Budget Setup video number 4. In this video, we're going to walk through setting up the first calendar month on the Budget Forecast tab. This will establish an accurate starting date on the calendar, which you'll then maintain from that date forward. Remember, this interactive budget forecast calendar is going to be an exact mirror of the activity in your main checking account. You'll see all income that's coming in, expenses that are going out, and how much money you will have available in your main account every day into the future. Being able to see and know all of that will enable you to plan extra financial moves or make other adjustments if you see a potential problem coming. This insight is a game changer and will enable you to have control over your finances like you've never had before. At the end of our last video, we had just finished setting up our Income and Expenses tab. Now we're going to click on the Budget Forecast tab. On this tab, you'll initially see a blank calendar. You'll notice that 4 weeks are viewable on the calendar and that you have the ability to scroll down and up to see the rest of the days in the month. I'll direct your attention to the Import Income and Expenses button. When we click that button, all of your income and expenses will automatically be copied over from the Income and Expenses tab and plugged into the correct dates for this calendar month. We'll click the button, and voila! All of your income and expenses are automatically plugged into the correct dates they are scheduled to happen on, and daily balances have been generated on the bottom of each day. You'll notice that every income entry has a green dot next to it, and that it causes the daily balance at the bottom of the day to increase. For the expense entries, each one has a red dot next to it and causes the daily balance at the bottom of the day to decrease. Since the calendar is fully interactive, we have the ability to edit, delete, or move entries from one day to another, which causes the daily balances to automatically reflect the entry being changed. We also have the ability to add entries to any date. Simply click on a day to bring up the Add Entry box. For the entry type, you can choose an outgoing money entry or incoming money entry. Then you'd put in the description and the amount, and click Save to add it to the calendar. Now you'll notice that there are a lot of negative daily balances on the calendar. That's because we haven't completed setting up this first initial month yet. To get the daily balances on the calendar to match up with the ending daily balances in your main checking account, we have to set up your starting balance for this first initial month. For the purposes of this video, we're going to say that today's date is June 13th, so we will need to have the calendar reflect this as our starting point. In order to get our calendar's daily balance synced up to our main checking account's balance, we're going to add an ending balance entry for yesterday, June 12th. The ending balance entry will be the amount that was in our main checking account at the close of business on June 12th. We'll click on the 12th and add an incoming money entry as the ending balance of our main checking account was positive. The description for this entry will be ending balance, and for the amount, we will enter $1,859.10. Then we'll click Save, and our ending balance entry will be on the calendar. The next thing we have to do is get the daily balance at the bottom of June 12th to be the same as the ending balance of our main checking account on the 12th. Once they match, our calendar and our main checking account will be aligned, and we'll have an accurate starting point on our calendar. To do this, we have to clean up all of the other calendar entries on the days leading up to June 13th. We'll start with the cell phone expense entry on June 12th. Looking at our main checking account, we can see that payment didn't come out on the 12th, but is actually coming out of our account today, June 13th. Because of that, we will click on the cell phone entry and drag it to the 13th, and click Save. The cell phone expense calendar entry is now on the same date as when it came out of our main checking account. Next, we'll look at the internet bill on June 11th. We verified it did come out of our main checking account that day, which means that it has already been figured into the ending balance amount we have on June 12th. Because of that, we'll click on it and delete it off our calendar. We'll repeat this verification process with all of the other entries remaining on the calendar before June 12th. If our main checking account shows the entry already happened in the account prior to June 12th, we'll delete it. If we see that one of the expense entries didn't actually come out of our account yet, we would drag it to a date after today, June 13th, so we know it still needs to be paid for this month. Please note that the variable expense transfers that are showing on the 1st would not have happened, as the first set of transfers will happen on the 15th. This is because today is June 13th, and we're just setting up our budget now. We verified that all of those entries prior to June 12th can be deleted, so we'll go ahead and delete each one. Now our calendar is clear through the 12th, and the daily balance matches the closing balance in our main checking account. That means we can verify and lock the daily balances through June 12th. We'll click on the box next to the balance, and then click the Verify and Lock button. We've almost completed setting up our first calendar month, but we have one thing left to do. We need to set up the low balance warning. The low balance warning will cause your daily balance on the calendar to turn orange if it drops below a certain dollar amount. The amount you choose to trigger this warning should be the amount that you're not comfortable with your main checking account balance ever dropping below. The low balance warning default setting is $400, but you can change that number on the settings page in the budget forecast settings box. We're okay with $400, so we'll leave it set at that amount. We now have our first calendar month officially set up and have a solid starting point to begin forecasting from. This means we've officially completed budget setup video number 4 and that it's time for the next video. In budget setup video number 5, we'll import our income and expenses into future calendar months. We'll show you how to keep your calendar updated and current, and how to utilize your forecasted daily balance to plan extra financial moves and start making progress on your financial goals. See you in the next video.